basically ready. You can start.
All right, so basically, I think that Geto would win against Volume Zero Yuta, because this Geto that fought Yuta was stated like two times, author statement, and stated within the manga that if he had full power, he would have won instead of Yuta. Do you want me to to send you the scans for that?
You said 2 times stronger than who?
Repeat that?
You said something about Geto being 2 times stronger than someone.
No, I said that if Geto would have had full power, he would have won against Yuta.
Where is that stated?
One in the manga and two author statement.
Can you
So
just
here,
show me
I'll
both of
send that
them?
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The manga? Fuck, I don't remember that. Oh well.
So there's like the manga statement, and this is the author statement. So let me know if you have any problems with that.
Okay, I'm pretty sure the first scan is just like referring to the fact that like all the curses and stuff that he had like contained. What's the word? Gathered up until that point. Because since he literally said if the forces, which were like the curses, hadn't been like divided between the two cities or the two districts, that he would have won. But for the fact that he did split that, then like he lost. So this isn't like necessarily directing towards like full strength here. Wait, but let me read the chapter.
I think I think it is. I think it is because right in this like hypothetical like battle, it would be a 1v1, so there would be no need for Geto to like disperse his strength or anything. Because obviously he dispersed his strength though, he doesn't like just get fucking jumped.
Yeah, but it's in Ghetto's character to fight with the cursed spirits, like he'll use like cursed spirits. So him
What
like
do you mean by
he's
that? Whoa, hold on, I'm not Taratsu. Can you mute your mic? I
yeah,
cannot hear
it's
shit.
actually static, bro.
Holy fuck. Alright, what were you saying, Baka?
All right, so basically how it says, I'm planning on saying it in the actual manga as well, but if Ghetto hadn't dispersed his fighting strength, aka the cursed spirits between Shinjuku and Kyoto, he would have won. So yeah, your whole argument, I would just say this is just off of the fact that like again he split up the curses between two districts, and that's like the reason he lost is because he was able to fight with all of his cursed spirits. I feel like that's just what it's referring to. Like that's how it's
Can you
explained.
repeat that like last part?
Yeah. Fuck the last part. I'll just repeat the whole thing. So
Yeah.
the reason why, like from what I'm seeing, your argument here is what this is just saying is if Geto hadn't split the cursed spirits into two districts, Kyoto and the other one, he would have won because he wouldn't been able to fight with all the cursed spirits that he had gathered up until that point for the big battle. And like regardless, even if he had all the cursed spirits, I would still say that like Rika, since like your video was like Yuta and Rika, um, Rika like he's just massively buff. And even Geto stated it himself. I'll see if I can find it. He was like, "Yeah, if we have Rika, our chances of winning are like 99.9%."
Well, okay, so two things real quick, right? So basically what I'm trying to argue is that Geto, right? Obviously he uses all his cursed spirits into one with Uzumaki, right? So that's basically that would add up to like his AP, right? Just having like more cursed spirits, which
Oh,
just mean that
when
his
you mean full power, you mean like Uzumaki
like
Geto?
yes, because obviously this Geto would still have all his cursed spirits. Like in the 1v1, he's just not gonna disperse them because like obviously there's no one else jumping him. So he would have all his cursed spirits. Because I think at the end it would still just like be a blast between Rika and Uzumaki. So that's what I'm arguing here. I'm arguing that if Geto wouldn't have dispersed his strength, aka the cursed spirits, between Shinjuku and Kyoto, he would have obviously won between like Rika and Yuta. So then like I just have like two statements backing up my claim. So he would be at full power and he would have won.
So you're saying he would have won if he didn't disperse them, and by that he would therefore use Uzumaki and gain all their powers.
Yes, he would have more power with Uzumaki, which would like make him win, which is just stated.
Okay, so like I'll show you. Let's see. I need this far as 30% of the Jutsu Society gets Well, if that goes down to less than 20, but the probability goes up to 99. Okay. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
let me grab this. So you know how basically Geto what he was explaining here. I barely read this shit. If this is wrong, fuck. I'll just like, you know. He says our chances of winning this war, and this is like him talking about like with all of like his full arsenal of cursed spirits before he even like decided to divide anything. He was like the chances of winning are 30%. If the Jujutsu Society gets involved, it goes down to 20, but the probability goes up to 99 with one move, and that's if they capture Rika. So Rika is just massively above like all the spirits that he has, including Geto himself. And this is like going off of what you're saying. This is full power Geto because he knows he has Uzumaki. He can use Uzumaki, and the chances of him winning are still 30%. And it's so low because of Rika's there. So Rika just scales above Geto and his cursed spirits. And we've seen Rika literally almost one-shot Geto. She basically fucking did. Nigga basically died from blood loss. So like,
All right.
regardless of him going into like Uzumaki, Rika's still just like scales above.
I just think this is like blatantly contradicted by like both statements. Like that's fine. Like even when like
It wouldn't be though,
Geto's
cause
talking about it. Mm-hmm.
oh, I mean you can continue. I don't want to cut you off.
So like when Geto was talking about it, he's like last year during the night parade of like 100 demons, if the forces hadn't been divided between Shinjuku and Kyoto, he would have won instead of Akutsu. And then on top
Uh,
of this, the author statements still say
that
it
was the
that if Geto
brain.
had to
That
disperse
was
his
the brain. That
fires.
wasn't like Geto himself saying that. No.
Okay, but this brain Kajaku still has like knowledge over this. He also have knowledge over Gojo. He has knowledge over Geto's body.
Yeah, and I addressed that point right
And
there when he
even and
said,
even and even if I were to like accept this, right? Even if I were just to say, oh yeah, Kajaku doesn't know anything, I still have the author statements to back up this claim, which is just contradict yours. So now I have two
well, no,
claims on my side.
my statements wouldn't even be contradicted, right? If anything, my statement would
Why not?
contradict yours because sure, the author said if he would have won that battle between Yuta, like him hand to hand combat fighting Yuta, I would assume if he had all of his spirits with him, he would have won the overall
And
war.
you're
But
talking about which statement about Kenjaku?
either or, either or, the one that says that he would have won if he didn't disperse his curses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying like regardless of the fact, even if he didn't disperse his disperse his curses,
Mm-hmm.
Rika still would have been able to scale above him off of the fact that he's been planning this for years. And he's saying our chances of winning this war, meaning everything that he has, is 30%. And the fact that Rika scales so strong that it would boost his chances to 99% if he were to be able to successfully take Rika, just shows that Rika is one of the strongest curses, and even Gojo himself stated that it's nearly impossible to kill Rika, and he's like one of the strongest sorcerers at the time, like him and Geto. So both
Mm-hmm.
him and Geto are acknowledging the fact that Rika is like one of the fucking
So
strongest curses that they've ever seen. She would just scale
so
above Uzumaki Geto, because it's just
So
base
real quick, can you
Geto.
can you show me that? Can you show me if Gojo's saying that like
It's
Uzumaki's not Uzumaki, Rika's basically like impossible to kill?
yeah. Bro, I should have these scans. Like, I know I fucking screenshotted this shit. Let me look for it in my folder, and if I don't see it, then I'll just grab it from the thing. Fuck it. I'll look for it. I think it's in point two. By chance, does anybody know the scan that I'm referring to?
And what was it that is like what is like the statement saying again? I'll
Oh,
try and look for it too.
basically, Gojo said that it was like nearly impossible to kill Rika.
Let's see.
If it's not in point 2, then it's in point 1. Yeah, it might be in point 1.
So here, real quick, that ghetto statement of like the war and stuff. What chapter was that? That was like 0.3.
Yeah. 0.3.
All right. I just want to look over real quick.
Bro, it blows me because I know I fucking screenshot that shit before. I don't know where it's at.
Like, can we have a limiter on scans? Like,
You want a fucking
You said what, Nate?
time limit?
yeah, bro. Cause I'm like I'm not trying to like sit here for like ever.
Alright, give me like 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes is fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is about to blow if I don't find this.
What are you looking for?
Scan that Gojo said that like it's nearly impossible to kill Rika.
Nearly impossible. I can search real quick.
Ah, I fucking found it. Let's go. So right here. It's nearly impossible to exercise a curse as strong as Rika, but unraveling it is a different case. And that's like then when what's it called? Yuta first showed up to the school. And they were like still trying to like figure out like what the fuck Rika was. So yeah, this just I have two
Okay.
statements backing me up. That's basically stating that like Rika, she's like a strong ass curse and would be stronger than like all the other curses that Geto has. So even if he were to go into Uzumaki, Rika would still be able to like damage the fuck out of him.
So real quick, I want to take the point that you had made with the war and the percent. So basically, Geto, the only reason like why he finds like Rika so OP is because obviously Geto has curse spirit manipulation, and then Kajaku when he takes over the body, he also like can use the innate technique. So then when Geto uses Uzumaki on Yuta, he's like, oh Gutsu, it's a good thing I came to kill you before you learn how to use Rika properly. So like this Yuta, right? Obviously, he would just wouldn't be able to use Rika properly, so he wouldn't be at any like type of full power or anything. So like we just know Geto would be able to scale above this Rika and this Yuta.
Huh?
And I can
We
I
know
can
we
I can
know
send
that
you the
no.
stamp for that.
So wait, you're saying okay? I see what you're saying. But you know, like it's in Rika's character to like come out and protect Yuta when he needs it. Like she acts on her own to protect him because they're in love,
Yeah,
right?
but the problem is, right? Obviously,
So like
when you like
since this battle isn't just Yuta himself, this is Yuta and Rika. Rika still has a
yeah,
mind of her own, so she can act on her own and
but
again attack.
but also Yuta was channeling Rika like and her like curse like energy through his like sword and stuff. You remember like when Gojo was explaining, oh yeah, like some curses like manifest stronger through like items.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. So he's like, oh, it's a good thing I came to kill you before you learn how to use like Rika properly. Because even
Yeah.
then, I'm pretty sure like within this fight, like Rika and Yuta are like both syncing up, and then like he starts using curse speech and all this. Because like he like gets Rika's technique.
Well, yeah, because he starts like imitating other people's techniques, which is fine.
Yeah.
But again, Yuta still isn't like fully developed. I don't see how this like goes against anything I said because I've still shown
Okay,
Rika being
so
like massively like stronger than like every other curse that Geto like has in his arsenal. And even if he were, which I don't know if I'm gonna accept Uzumaki because he doesn't even demonstrate Uzumaki in the 0 point chapters.
he does, he does.
No,
It's the
he
final
shows
class
it,
with
but he doesn't like consume it though at all. He doesn't consume it.
what do you mean by consume?
He shows Uzumaki, and
Uzu-
Uzumaki, all of that does is just like it just combines curses, and then he can eat it and gain their power if we want, as we've seen him do like later on in the series.
with Uzumaki's just a contained blast of all the cursed spirits that Geto is like stored up.
Yeah, so when he kills spirit and he wants to capture it, he throws it in the Uzumaki, and therefore he saves it. And then that's when he ate all of it after he also ate Mahito. So again, we don't actually see Geto eat the Uzumaki. So I wouldn't even say this full power Geto doesn't show up until like later on in the series.
So wait, so like
And since we're going by like 0 point chapter,
yeah,
so
we're going off the 0 point of it.
so yeah, there wouldn't be like no Uzumaki merged fucking Geto in this instance.
So the problem is, right? Real quick, I just like want to reinstate my argument for like the war thing. The only reason why Geto would find it so OP is because he has cursed spirit manipulation. So with Rika, he'd be able to like use her at full power. He'd be able to use her way better than Yuta. And then like when he goes to use Uzumaki on Yuta, he's like, oh, thank God, I'm gonna kill you now before you can like learn how to use Rika properly. Like I think that's all like it is. And even then, right? These statements later on in the series just contradict everything you said before.
No, I don't believe just because you have like better curse manipulation than someone that you're able to use like whatever curse that they're able to use. I don't believe that.
What do you mean by that?
Because you said that, okay, the reason why Geto said that and why he believes that Rika's so strong is because he has good curse manipulation. He'll be able to use her better than Yuta. And there's two reasons why I disagree. One, I don't see why just because you have better curse manipulation than someone, you should be able to use curses that they're able to use. And two, Rika just like simply wouldn't abide to Geto at all because she's, again, cursed by Yuta and abides by Yuta because they're in love. So
That's the thing, Baka. That's the thing. Geto has cursed spirit manipulation. He can just manipulate Rika. That's why he's better.
if he's
if
he's able to take down Rika.
Yeah, and then
And off of the Gojo's statement, who's nearly impossible to kill, Gojo is basically I'm saying this. Gojo is stronger than Geto, but Geto, they were two known as the strongest sorcerers. And if the strongest sorcerer is over here stating, shit, it's nearly impossible to kill her with his abilities that he contains.
So
Geto's
real
not
quick,
coming
real
out
quick.
oh no, I can't. Yeah, okay. So wait. Fuck, I'll save that argument just in case I need it. Alright, you can go ahead. What were you about to say?
So real quick, I'll just say Rika can be above Gojo, but I'll just say that Geto's just above Rika, and like that's fine. Like he can just.
Why
be
is
above
Geto
Gojo
above Rika when Rika nearly one-shotted the fuck out of him?
Cause Geto firepower. Like I said, he's not at full power. I don't think like you disagree with me on that. He's not at full power. He doesn't have all
I
his
don't
cursed
know.
spirits.
The reason here's the thing why I'm disagreeing with full power here is because full power in your eyes was him eating Uzumaki, and since he doesn't consume Uzumaki,
No, wait. Like don't strawman me, okay? So like
no,
what
no,
I'm trying
we
to say
agreed.
is,
I clarified that earlier. I was like, "What do you mean by full power Geto is like Uzumaki, like amp Geto?" And you were like, "Yeah."
yeah, like just Uzu. Like I'm not saying like him consuming Uzumaki. I'm just saying him using Uzumaki with all the cursed spirits. Like not the ones like because obviously we know that he divided his forces. So all that like the force that he divided was like be with him.
So you're saying Geto's at full power when he decides to use the move Uzumaki.
Not necessarily. What I'm trying to say is he'd be at full power because he'd have all his cursed spirits.
But in the 0 Point chapter, he doesn't because he split him into 2 factions.
But so that's where my argument comes in, and I'm saying he only did that because obviously he doesn't want to get jumped, right? So in this 1v1 battle, he'd have all these cursed spirits, and he wouldn't have to be able to.
I already explained to you why Rika would be above all of those cursed spirits. I've already addressed this.
You know what? We can just go to conclusion.
Like on the whole debate or just this point?
If you don't mind, we could just do like on the whole debate.
Is there anything else you need to cover?
I'm
trying to think. I mean, alright, I could just say, just to get this whole entire debate, I've just been saying shit for Rika. For Yuta, at least, I'll say that he has relativity to what's it called, an amped Geto, and proceeds to just get stronger throughout the fight and is able to like trade blows with him, and then even manage to like hit him at some point. You have like a problem with that?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
because I still think like in this battle, it just still like end up like in this like big like final clash, I guess you could say, if you don't like mind that. Like damn, how do I word this? For example, the fight would just end up just them both like colliding. For example, Uzumaki with Rika.
Oh, that's how you see it. All right, we can
yeah.
go to do you me start my conclusion or do you want to go?
Yeah, you can start.
All right. The reason why I believe I won, right, is because I was able to get past Lazy's whole entire argument of if Geto were to have all of his cursed spirits, he would have won the battle, and I just ended up proving that Rika is like stronger than all of the other spirits that he has contained within his arsenal, because Geto states himself with the chances of him winning that war, which he's been prepping for a long time and gathering curses as long as he like was going on, it would be a 30% chance. But if Rika were to join their forces, it would shoot to 99, which just shows that Rika would be above his whole entire arsenal. So even if Geto were to use Uzumaki, Rika would just like neg all of the curses. If like how Lazy said, it would go out like as like a blast, Rika would just like overpower and win. And then also have scaling for Yuta, which just puts Yuta like relative to like just relative to an amped Geto, and Lazy didn't have a problem with that. So how I think the fight would go, right? Yuta and Geto are throwing hands, or basically Yuta will like beat the shit out of Geto, since he's able to like go toe to toe with the fucking amped Geto. He would just beat his ass before he can get off Uzumaki. Worst case scenario, if Geto does whip out Uzumaki, then Rika would just like overpower the blast and just kill him. That's why I believe I won. You can go.
Alright, so first I'll just start like with his Rika arguments. So with the argument of like the war chance, I just said he's only saying that because he has cursed spirit manipulation, and he'd just be able to use like Rika better, since like he's literally like that's his technique. And then like this is like backed up by like him saying like when he's fighting Yuta, he's about to use Uzumaki, he's like, oh, I'm glad I'm killing you now because you haven't like fully mastered Rika. And then with his Uzumaki, he tried to like contradict that by what was it? What statement was it? Oh yeah, basically with the Rika being like stronger than like every other cursed spirit, I just say that's like still contradicted because I like have like two like statements to back up my claim, and I just wouldn't see it as like inconsistent or anything. So like in both scans, it says if the forces had been divided between Shinjuku and Kyoto, he would have won instead of Akatsu. And the author statement says the same thing, like literally talking about cursed spirits. So if he would have had all his cursed spirits, he would have won against like Yuta/Rika. When he tried to like argue like him not having like all his like cursed spirits or whatever, I'd say he would, because the only reason he didn't have them is because he had to like disperse his strength to other places so he wouldn't get jumped. So in this hypothetical 1v1, he'd have all his cursed spirits. And then what else did you bring up? I think that's just about it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Wait, one thing. You said, I don't know why I didn't call this out in the debate, but you said that the reason he believes the percentage would go higher is because he'd be able to manipulate Rika. And when you manipulate a curse, you use the curse's power. So that would just kind of be supporting me. Because regardless of it, Rika has the power above all of his others.
No, what I'm trying to say is that for example, Yuta isn't using like Rika like at full like capability. So like it wouldn't be like this Yuta that we're using wouldn't be at full power. So like all your like statements would just be her like full power type shit. It's like you get what I'm trying to like, get at.
Uh, what I
So
think,
then like
wait,
there's like
wait,
on
what you
top of
mean
that,
by like curse manipulation? You just mean like using her abilities, like copy other niggas' abilities, have like boundless curse
like
energy and shit like that?
either that or just like how he uses the deadly curse spirits or whatever they're called.
No, okay.
Yeah, and then like I just like back that up just by say like the statements or whatever. So yeah, Nate, you
I
can
still
give your
feel like,
verdict.
I mean, I still feel like that part's kind of contentious, but yeah, Nate, you can give your judgment.
Okay, so so what you're saying, Lazy, is basically if he did not disperse these cursed spirits, he would prevail in this fight, right?
Yep.
Okay, so um
And you get what my argument was, right? Just to clarify.
uh your argument against that is basically Rika would still be able to overpower these cursed spirits either way, right? Even if he
Yeah,
did not
because
disperse his
she's just stated to be stronger by like Gojo's statement and Geto's.
Gojo's Gojo basically says, what is he saying verbatim? It's nearly impossible to exercise as strong as Rika, but unraveling is a different case. He's basically saying it's nearly impossible to basically seal this nigga, right?
Mm-hmm. Or just
All
kill him.
right. So and then what Lazy said in his conclusion, he has two pieces of evidence which support his like main claim. Your counter to that was he'd still be fucking negged. What I want to say is, I think, ugh, you know what I'm saying? Both of y'all got like deep ass voices, made my dick hard during this debate. But you know,
No cat.
beside that, hey, listen, don't focus on that. Beside the point, I think Lazy won this.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Hmm?
Okay, we just all
Hold on,
gonna
what
act
did
like
he
he didn't
just
say
say a
that. All
second ago?
Hey, look though. That's irrelevant. So basically, so I think Lazy provided a preponderance of evidence, and like your contradiction towards whoa. Actually, I think Lazy was the first one to say he had to present a contradiction towards what statement? It was the Gojo shit, right? He just say he has two pieces of evidence which basically contradiction the author statement and the manga statement, which basically Geto's.
Yeah, so he all his rebuttal to like the Gojo statement was the fact that he had the author statement and then the later manga chapter statement, and then I basically threw
Yeah,
two statements at him at.
Could I even say prove the validity? I don't think no, because you
I
didn't.
just
It doesn't.
nah, he didn't bring that up. But yeah, basically my rebuttal to that was it just be like contradicted, like with like all of these like statements that I like brought up.
And basically, like your main argument for Ghetto, he's dispersing these cursed energy, but without this restraint, he'd basically be able to prevail during this fight, right? That's your basically main argument during this, and then you brought
Wait, say
evidence.
that again, because I didn't.
Without him, if he didn't have this restraint and cursed energy, or just this, like he's basically spreading out his cursed spirits, blah blah blah,
I
he'd be
mean
able
that
to.
that's what he did. He split him up into two districts. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Lazy was like, okay, so since he's having to fight like multiple ugly ass niggas, but if he only had to fight one ugly ass nigga, he still do that. But then your counter was like, okay, provided the Gojo statement that I made, Rika would still fuck
Oh
these
no,
niggas up.
yeah. Well, he was just saying, yeah, it would be like a hypothetical. He'd have all of his curses, and then I was like, yeah, off of the shit that I showed, Rika would just overpower them all.
Well,
Which
to be honest,
she basically did. She basically fucking did. So.
I don't remember hearing that. That's probably my bad. But
Oh yeah, I mean.
well, either way, I don't think my judgment will change. I think I'd say this was a mid diff for Lazy. I don't think my judgment would change. Sorry.
Lazy
Lazy, you want to run this?
I still feel like I won this, man. Like
I mean,
deep
that's
inside,
perfectly
bro.
fine. That's perfectly fine with you.
Yeah.
No, Baka, to be honest, out of